Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we are back with a Jinx supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at on-hit Jinx. So this on-hit Jinx build has been floating around for quite some time now, even since like patch 5 point something. It's kind of been in the top builds of Jinx at time to time, but obviously it's never really the best build of Jinx because generally speaking, even in a tanky meta, crit build is really always better because your real goal is to just get a reset and then take out the rest of the enemy team. However, it is a perfectly viable build that you can go for, so we're going to go over what it's all about in this particular video. So let's get straight into it. So first up, you want to get the Gluttonous Grease with the early AD and the Omnivamp, and then being an on-hit build, first item is going to be Terminus. Pretty logical there. Early AD as well as attack speed, on-hit magic damage, as well as stacking resistances and stacking penetration. And then, of course, a classic Jinx item is going to be a Runaan's Hurricane. Runaan's Hurricane obviously allows you to attack 3 people at the same time, also proccing your on-hit onto 3 targets, and most importantly, ensuring you get an assist to get a reset if one of your 3 targets dies. And then another classic on-hit item is your Bork. Bork, you mostly take it, of course, for the attack speed, as well as, of course, the current health on-hit damage. So it's really, this build is, of course, really mainly targeted against very tanky teams. And those are the 3 core items of the build. So now I normally like to veer off of on-hit, and I like to actually go for Bloodthirster as a second last item, which is going to give me, of course, the physical vamp as well as the huge injection of AD. And then you can go for, something like Immortal Shield Bow or another defensive item as your last item, which is going to give you that extra shield. Of course, you can also go for all your other defensive options like your Sterix and things like that, or you can go for another crit item, as well, like Magnetic Blaster, for example. But another option you have is, of course, going for something like Wits End. This is, of course, another really good on-hit item, and it is pretty useful if you're against heavy AP, which I was against in this game, so I actually did build Wits End in the game you will see later on. For the runes, you still want to go for the lethal tempo for the attack speed and the attack range. Brutal, of course, just for more damage, because obviously you attack a lot, attack very fast with the on-hit build, so just more damage on your auto attacks is just logical. Then we have Giant Slayer, just to counter the tanks and the health builders. Alacrity for more attack speed, as well as Bone Plating just for the extra defensive capabilities. Now finally, for the summon spells, we have Flash together with whatever summon spell you need. So normally it's going to be Cleanse or Ghost, most of the time, but you can also go for like something like a barrier or exhaust if you prefer. But with all that said, now let's move on to taking a look at the gameplay. Okay, so let's take a look at our gameplay itself. So you can see that in this particular game, I am against a really tanky team, and that includes, of course, Nunu, as well as Nautilus. Or rather, I wouldn't say it's very tanky, but there are, of course, 2 tanks, and I kind of want to try this build out. And I kind of like this game to go for Jinx, because Jinx is generally very good into teams where you have very little assassins. And in this case, really the only kind of assassin, I guess you could say, is Echo, who could just kind of one-shot you. The rest of them can't really do that. So that's what we're going for here. So in the earlier stages of the game already, you can see that here we are able to actually chunk the enemies down to really low HP. We are kind of winning the trade, but we are really low ourselves, so we definitely do have to be a bit cautious about that. Jinx is a champion that is pretty simple to play in lane. If you don't really know how to take advantage of her range, all you really need to do is just farm it up and wait for mid and late game. But if you are a little bit of a better Jinx player, you can take advantage of her rockets and minigun swapping. So you generally want to farm with the minigun and not the rockets. You can do so with the rockets if the minions are too far away and you don't want to risk walking up. But the rockets are generally to poke. So what you want to do is you want to auto the minions to stack up the minigun and then swap over to rockets to poke down the enemies, like what you saw I just did here. So you can see I'm minigunning the minions here, and then when I get the opportunity to, I'm going to step up, swap to rockets, and then launch a rocket at one of my enemies. So here you can see I swap to rockets, I launch it on Nautilus, another rocket onto Nautilus, another a zap onto Nautilus. Nautilus now stuck on 1 HP. Nautilus about to die. Nautilus dies for first blood, and Caitlyn has to flash away from the zap in order to not die as well. So this is pretty much the laning you want to do with Jinx when you get a little bit better on her, when you don't just want to farm, you want to actually poke. Of course, you can't do this against every lane. This kind of poke strategy is generally the most effective against um, engage supports, so those like Nautilus, Alistar, Leona, champions like these, because aside from engaging on you, there's not a lot they can do, and they have really low range, so they can be very easily poked. And as for the engage supports themselves, what they mainly want to do is to avoid getting poked by you and just wait for a good engage and then engage onto you. Of course, Jinx has no mobility, so when she's engaged on, really easy to die. So if you're playing against an engaged support who's playing very safe, then that's kind of what you need to kind of watch out for, which is that you don't get engaged on and just die, things like that. And basically, Jinx has good matchups into anybody other than assassins or people who can kill her very easily. So in the bot lane, some of the more challenging matchups are champions like Lucian or Samira or Kalista, who can, of course, do a lot of damage and maybe kill you in lane. But even these matchups, when you get to the mid and late game, you can kind of take advantage of your front line and your range to kind of deal with them that way, because obviously Kalista, like Samira, they have really short range and they cannot really reach you very easily, whereas you have very long range and you can reach them very easily. Of course, in the hyper carry battle, it sort of kind of depends, like when you're against like a Tristana, Caitlyn, things like that. It kind of depends on the state of the game and things like that. Here, Ambessa comes in for a gank. We get a pretty free kill, or rather, she gets a kill. Caitlyn now in a little bit of trouble as well. Nunu is now trying to help. Nami unfortunately dies. I'm trying to blast the Nunu, sidestepping the Seraphine ultimate. I do get rooted a little bit by Seraphine, but I'm pretty much fine. Putting the traps down to dissuade the enemy team from pursuing me any further. Seraphine runs into the traps, but I am pretty low, so I'm not going to be able to really continue. And I'm able to just go back to the tower and retrieve the fruit. Pretty exciting early game, especially considering that Jinx generally has a very tame early game, but in this particular game, a lot of fighting going on between the bot lanes and even from the other lanes as well, coming over to our lane. So, of course, it's no surprise from the thumbnail, but at some point in this game, we're going to be doing well enough to get a pentakill, and I will say that that is, you will see when it happens, but it's a pretty underwhelming pentakill in a sense that we don't do anything flashy whatsoever. We do classic front to back, ADC gameplay, and we just get kill after kill after kill, which is of course, one of the classic ways you get a pentakill as an ADC. But you guys will see it, soon. And I guess that somewhat proves that this build is perfectly viable, right? So here, Caitlyn tries to put a ward in the bush. I'm not sure why she want to ward that bush. Nautilus steps up again. So you can see when Nautilus steps up, we always want to poke. Here we actually get hooked by him, but in this case, we chunked him so much that at this point, it doesn't really even matter, right? We launch the ulti, get the kill on him. We slow Caitlyn down. We're rocketing her to death. And if Nami stepped in a little bit earlier to tank the tower, I could have actually killed her with that last auto. But unfortunately, we have to expend both my flash as well as Nami's heal to actually reach her. And yeah. And now we are able to clean both of them up, and then we are 3-0-1 getting fed. Now we also have access to the tower plates. Objectives have spawned. My team is doing the Herald, so there's no reason for us to rotate anywhere. We're just gonna get plates. We're gonna go a little bit greedy on this one and pick up 3 plates instead of the normal 2. Of course, Nautilus will have a little bit of trouble defending the plates, and we're even greeding over the next minion wave. We're gonna quickly clean up this minion wave before Caitlyn arrives. And then we can back and probably complete Terminus. Now, of course, we do lose a little bit of tempo here because Dragon is up and Ambessa is looking to contest. But we really cannot help them out because we are sitting on way too much gold. Just picking up 2 kills, 3 plates, as well as a couple of waves. So here, unfortunately, my team, the Yasuo and Ambessa, are kind of getting destroyed at the moment. Here, I'm trying to see if I can do anything to help, but I'm just getting CC'd and I'm going to have to cleanse out. Here is a very iffy situation. We're kind of getting dove, but here just one reset will change everything. But unfortunately, there's a lot of low HP bars like on Nunu, Echo, and I think Seraphine is really low as well. But unfortunately, I don't pick up any kill. I think if I pick up 1 kill, I'd probably pick up 2 or 3 after that, just off of the reset. But unfortunately, that did not happen, and that's fine, right? Because sometimes you just gotta play safe and you just gotta not die. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't die at all this game, right? I have a deathless, game, and it goes pretty well. yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out, and if it is, I'm probably gonna put it in the title, so you guys will probably know by now whether or not I do end up dying in this game based on the title. So here we have a very big lead against the Caitlyn and Nautilus. The main thing we want to do is to maintain the lead and to not, throw it away. And how do we throw it away? Well, getting ganked by Nunu, getting engaged on my Nautilus, and just dying, right? So we want to kind of play slightly aggressive to push our lead, but at the same time not overly aggressive. So you can see the ward placement I put is almost to the dragon pit, and the reason why I put the ward there is because with Nunu, if you put a ward in the river bush, it's too late because by then he's probably rolling his way into your lane already and gonna kill you. So you're gonna put the ward a little bit further. Here Nami gets engaged on. Seraphine and Nunu are all coming. There's nothing I can do to help her here, so I'm just gonna run away myself. The moment she gets hit by 1cc, she's gonna get hit by everything else. So nothing much I can do. And also I cannot protect this tower. My team though is going to trade for mid lane tower using the Herald, so it's actually all good, right? It's a tower for tower trade, although they did get the kill onto Nami. But it's overall relatively even trade. They even get a bit of tier 2 tower damage. And here I can just get a reset, get myself to safety, and then come back out on the map to push out the waves again and collect the goal. So you can see Nunu, Nautilus, and everybody have basically rotated to the bottom side of the map. You can see 4 people in the bot lane with only Echo missing. Of course, Echo is really dangerous because he's the one that can kind of kill us a lot more easily. But with him showing up at the bot lane as well, we are safe to actually push this tower and then continue on pushing even further. Now, the issue is that our entire team has died, right? So the enemy team can actually rotate here easily, but because we can see at least 3 of them on vision and Nunu is also on vision now, we know that only one person can respond to us here. So we are actually doing the macro play of just focusing the tower, and this is kind of forcing them to back and respond to us. So we're going to get this tower and going to hightail it out of there. Nunu is the only one who kind of reached us. I'm not sure where the rest of his team went, but Nunu reaches us, Nautilus takes the gate, and 4 of them are now on the top lane, but it doesn't really matter anymore because we've already gotten what we came for, which is that tower, and we can just, get a base, right? So basically they made a poor macro decision, which is that they didn't all need to recall to stop me and Nami from pushing. They probably should have just traded the bot tier 2 for their top tier 2, but since they made the mistake of not going for our tower and we got their tower, they actually took a pretty bad trade, although they did get 3 kills in the mid lane, so that is not something that can be ignored. So here another team fight breaks out. You can see I'm basically just playing front to back. You can see I'm blasting whoever is the nearest target, trying to get the kills, and also using my ulti to clear the wave there. If you guys didn't notice there, that's one of the kind of more unique uses of the ulti, which is to clear the wave. Here once again I'm hitting whoever is the nearest target. In this case it's multiple people actually walking in and out being the nearest target, and I'm just blasting whoever I can. But unfortunately in this case I'm not actually able to kill anybody once again. So you can see that in this match I am actually the most fed member in the game, right, currently at 8k gold. But you can see that one of the main issues with Jinx, which is why I think she's good but not great in the current meta, is that she really needs like a reset to kind of take over the fight, right? Without getting that one reset, it's really difficult to take over the fight. You can do a decent amount of damage, but you're not going to be able to carry the fight until you get a reset and start blasting people into high heaven. So that's kind of the real challenge with Jinx at the moment. She's very, very reset reliant. Of course, Jinx is kind of a reset reliant champion. That's her whole kind of identity. But, even now, more so than usual. So here I'm just blasting whoever I can, getting up my lethal tempo. Nunu is going down. Nautilus goes down, and I'm able to get a triple kill here. And then, yeah, so there, we can see that the moment you get one reset, you just get, multiple kills, right? That's kind of, what I was talking about. Like, I either get like a triple kill or like no kill, right? Because the moment you get one, the attack speed and movement speed you're gonna get is gonna allow you to chase down the rest and have the damage to kind of kill the rest of the enemy team. So the moment you get kind of one reset, you're gonna kill multiple people. So in this case, you can kind of see the prime example of that, and those couple of kills, really, really handy. We're gonna force down this tier 2 tower as the enemy team starts to respawn. And we're gonna just get out of there using the reset off of the tower. So huge waves in both of the side lanes. Unfortunately, my Mbessa and my Singe are already going to side lane, so I can't really go there to farm. So instead, I'm just going to have to back and pick up my items, building towards the Blade of the Rune King. Now, as I mentioned just now in the build section, I am playing against a pretty heavy AP team. In fact, I'm actually playing against Echo, Seraphine, who are both building AP, and Nautilus has Rod of Ages as well, so he's going to be doing some AP damage as well. And of course, Nunu is a primary AP damage dealer, although in this case, he actually has gone for full tank, so he's not going to be doing that much damage. Which is also where the tank shredding build comes in against Nautilus as well as Nunu, right? That's going to come in very, very handy. Enemy team is doing Baron because they did get a pick onto Mbessa. So here, we're trying to soft contest the Baron. Nautilus is in by himself, so we're just blasting for free. I'm stacking up my lethal tempo here, and here I was trying to see if I can maybe get a lucky crit onto the Baron. There's no lucky crit because I'm not building crit, but lucky hit onto the Baron. Either way, we are able to get the reset, and we actually get, I think 2 people died, and now Nunu is going to be the next victim. Nunu dies, I get the reset, see if I can find Caitlyn. She's nowhere to be seen, so I'm just going to take up this Grump instead, and then push in this wave. Now my team is actually going for the mid lane push, right? So whenever people are pushing mid lane, generally the enemy team is going to get mind controlled into just running mid, right? Because the default response for most people is if you see someone in mid, you run mid as well. So here I'm taking advantage of that by going for the tier 2 here. Echo nearly clears the entire wave. He ults back and nearly dies for it. And here you can see we just take down the tier 2 tower. So this is a super negative play for the enemy team. They got the Baron, but they ended up having 3 people dead, losing I think 2 towers and like Gromp and blue buff as well from myself, stealing them. So super negative Baron play from the enemy team. And we get even more fed now at like 12k gold. Definitely the most fed person in the game. We complete the Bork and we're going to build into the Wit's End. And this time I actually decided to go for the Negatron Cloak first, because what I'm most scared of now is getting bursted down by Echo. He's probably the biggest threat on the enemy team to me. So here, I'm just trying to clear the Baron minions, and you can see I'm trying to poke at the same time with my Runan. You can see I'm just blasting, cleansing the Seraphine ulti, and just blasting the first target. And by the way, guys, this is actually the lead up to the pentakill, so it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon, right? So you can see that all I'm doing is classic ADC gameplay, just blasting the nearest target. So you see here, I charge up my attack speed onto the minions. I switch over to rocket launcher. I'm just blasting, blasting, blasting. No one is really going on to me. I'm just blasting, blasting, blasting. Full stack tempo and everything. Blasting, blasting, blasting. Mbessa goes in, and I'm able to finally get the reset onto the Nautilus, going legendary, flashing in to finish the kill onto the Nunu. I pick up the triple onto the Echo. I'm going now for the Caitlyn, who's of course their main carry, that's still alive. Get the Quadra, and then using the rocket onto the Seraphine to get the Penta with the semi-snipe. I mean, I say semi-snipe because it's pretty much very obvious where she's going to be, right? She has that small choke point in the jungle to walk to get the safety. And honestly, at this point, we could have ended the game. Now, see here, even with the Nexus Shield, if Mbessa had went in and tanked the tower just for a couple of shots so that this cannon minion doesn't die, I believe we could have easily ended the game. Because look at the amount of damage we do, right? And the respawn timers are kind of long enough. But because Mbessa doesn't want to tank tower, we are not able to actually end the game, which I think is a real waste. Because, I mean, literally, you could have won the game right then and there. So unfortunately now, instead of ending the game, we're gonna have to go for Infernal Drake instead. And Infernal Drake of course denies the Ocean Soul from the enemy team, so we're gonna have to settle for a dragon instead of ending the game. So here obviously, off of getting a pentakill and an inhibitor, I have a ton of gold to spend. Obviously we can complete our, or not obviously, but we probably can complete our Wit's End at that point. So we're gonna we complete our Wit's End. So 4 full items for us now, 13, 0, and 3. We change our boots to armor boots, and then we go for the stasis. And why armor boots? Well, because we already got MR from Wit's End, right? So we are lacking, we're lacking armor, so we're gonna go for that one. So here, Baron is the next objective up on the map, and definitely something we want to contest. Enemy team is not on Baron, but they are definitely in the area. So as the super duper fed ADC on my team, all I need to do is stand at a safe distance behind my teammates, not get assassinated by Echo, not get engaged on by Nautilus. Now Nunu tries to hide in there, but we all know he's there. So here Nautilus tries to CC me. Now Nautilus is going to do this more than once, right? He basically knows I'm the target to kill. He goes onto me, but no one on his team follows up. And as a result of that, I'm able to kill him for free because he's building He's not building full tank, but he's building mostly tank, so he's not really doing very much damage. He definitely cannot out damage me. So here we're able to get the kill onto him, and then off of that, Seraphine dies to my team as well. We're all still alive. We get the Baron, and the game is pretty much done and dusted at this point. All we really need to do is use this Baron to make an effective push and end the game. Now, of course, that's easier said than done. Now, you can see that, again, people are defaulting to pushing mid. Right? Look at Nami and Syndra. They're just going mid, but mid lane inhibitor is already gone. There's no reason to push mid. The better move is to push bot and top. So you can see here I'm going bot, but the issue is that, once again, I'm the really fat ADC, and I don't want to die, right? I don't really have vision of the enemy team. I can see Nunu and Caitlyn in mid, but I don't really want to overextend and walk up there. You can see Nautilus and Seraphine were there, so I don't really want to go there. And furthermore, Elder Dragon is spawning, right? So now I cannot really push this side of the map very well because I need to be at the fight of the Elder Dragon with my team. So at most I can push out this wave, create a little bit of pressure for the enemy team in terms of having to clear that wave. If not, they might lose inhibitor to the wave that is going to slowly stack. But now I have to make my way over to the Elder side. Myself and Nami take the Hex Gates to join our team. Yasuo with a horrible reset timing because you can see the enemy team is now here fighting our team, launching the ult to try to help my team out a little bit. Now trying to get the reset onto Nunu, we do get the reset, and now I'm just going onto rockets and just blasting whoever I can. Now, unfortunately, I get rooted and kind of take a ton of damage, at one go. So not really the best situation. Now I try to flash forward to slow Nautilus, but he ends up getting away, but Echo does not. Now here, I can't believe I live here. I don't know how I did not die on the spot there, but somehow by some miracle I actually live. With the help of Nami heal, of course, but even before that I lasted for like a second there when I thought I was gonna die. Yeah. So now Elder is up. So now with the enemy jungler dead, Echo is dead as well. This should be a free Elder, and with the Elder we can either use it to try to force the end or to go for a Baron or something like that, right? So here once again I'm just pinging to push anywhere but mid lane, right? We really don't need to push mid lane. We need to push the other lanes, right? You can see that just now off of that slow push we got, the inhibitor is actually almost dead on the other side of the map. So we're on this side of the map trying to push it in. My team's getting into a fight here, so once again I'm just at max range, just blasting whoever I can. Of course no one is dying. Nautilus once again goes for me. I'm not even gonna, I don't have cleanse, but I'm not really scared. I think the prediction on where Nautilus is gonna be, sniping out the Nautilus, pretty proud of that one if I do say so myself. And Echo and Nunu are the only ones left alive, so it's gonna be a pretty simple matter of just focusing on the Nexus and ending the game while my team is up to getting more kills. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual, and goodbye.